Thanks for coming back to my emissions exchange.
You're welcome. I wanted to clear up some misinformation on last week's show.
Okay, let's clear away.
I'd like that.
Last week you left a distinct impression that your institute's official position is that carbon dioxide is no more dangerous for our planet than chocolate and cheese.
Well, that's not verbatim what I said.
Okay, what did you say?
I said that scientific studies had not demonstrated conclusively that chocolate and cheese are less harmful to us than carbon dioxide.
Let me ask you about a recent ruling by the Supreme Court which declared that carbon dioxide is a pollutant. The Supreme Court hasn't declared that chocolate and cheese are pollutants.
I'd like to point out that none of the 9 Supreme Court justices has a chemistry degree.
Well, that may be, but what do you have to say about the ruling?
Well, we'll appeal.
The Supreme Court ruled. It's the supreme, the highest court in the land. You can't appeal.
Of course it was. I know that. What I meant was we're going to appeal to the Supreme Court of popular opinion.
In what argument are you going to make to the Supreme Court of popular opinion?
Well, we'll point out that carbon dioxide can be as natural as water, air, or trees. And we'll also point out that our positions are often twisted by people like you.
But didn't you say last week that carbon dioxide is no more dangerous to our planet than chocolate and cheese?
That came from your mouth.
My mouth?
Yes, your mouth just said that.
My mouth said that your mouth said that.
Well, that's what I said. That came from your mouth.
But I said that came from your mouth a week ago, no?
My mouth said a week ago that in some circumstances I could see that chocolate and cheese are more harmful to you than carbon dioxide. I would also like to point out that carbon dioxide plays a critical role in our lives. Do you like soft drinks?
What does that have to do with anything?
Do you know that those little bubbles in soft drinks are carbon dioxide?
Yes, and we also learned last week that you could die from a box of chocolate falling on you.
Oh, there are other ways of dying from chocolate.
There are?
Well, how long do you think a person could live if he ate only chocolate?
Incredible. Let me steer you back to carbon dioxide and carbon monoxide.
Well, they're 2 very different gases.
How so?
Well, carbon dioxide has 2 oxygen molecules, whereas carbon monoxide only has 1.
But they both can kill you, can't they?
Well, I know of nobody who's died from such poisoning. Do you?
Let me steer you to a very specific question. If you attached a tube to your car tailpipe and sucked on it, would you die after a while?
Well, that depends.
It depends. It depends on what?
It depends on whether the car is running or not.
Let's say the car is running.
He would suffer the same fate as someone who sucked on a tube of liquid chocolate.
You would?
Yes. If your airways were clogged with chocolate, you'd die. It's a lack of oxygen to the brain. It's very basic science.
Let me change the question. If someone pumped carbon monoxide into an airtight room, after a while the person sitting there would die, no?
If you sat in an airtight room and someone pumped liquid chocolate into the room, after a while you'd die too.
From what?
You'd drown in a sea of chocolate.
What are the chances of someone drowning in chocolate while they sit in their living room?
Well, they're higher if you happen to live by a chocolate factory.
We've run out of time, Dr. Ayers. Thank you very much, Dr.
We've run out of time?
We've run out of time.
But there's so much we didn't discuss.
I can't wait to hear the feedback this time.